export import like that, and also education. So maybe like SMP full day one cooperate with some public school or private school in United States or outside. So the people in education office doing that kind of thing. So there's so many things.
Very wide range of
very
working.
So this podcast is program from IT class or
No, just from the school. Mostly English, right?
so the first episode. What was that? The topic?
It's about English class.
Okay.
The second one is about
Was about.
salat,
Okay.
And
and
the third one is
the third one is
in front.
is
Of our
about
eyes.
you.
Full Day Cast, ngobrol asik di sekolah.
Hello. Welcome back to Full Day Cast, ngobrol asik di sekolah. This is a place where we hang out, share stories, and get some good vibes.
Whether you're at work, on the go, or even just chilling at home, we're here to make you keep company, and we are here to make your day brighter.
So get your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive in. Okay, our special guest here is...
Hi. My name. So I should introduce myself.
Yes, please.
My name is Maulana. I used to be a teacher here 3 years ago. And currently I'm working for Indonesian Embassy in Washington DC, United States.
Washington.
Yeah.
Wait, where is Washington exactly?
United States.
Oh,
so it's
United
the capital
States.
city of United States.
Oh.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So you go on like university there?
No, I'm working for government.
Oh, working.
So the embassy is the office where one government working outside.
Oh,
So
okay,
on
okay.
behalf of Indonesian government, I'm working in United States.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really cool. Okay, how about your school experiences? Like, how do you get to work in Washington?
Yeah.
I finished my degree in Arabic in linguistic back then 2019 in
Okay.
Cairo, and then just undergraduate degree, and I applied to Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kementerian Luar Negeri. So one day you can apply if you graduated
Yeah.
from several majors like international relations, law, economics, what else? International development, or foreign languages. For example, me from Arabic, or maybe you choose English, maybe French, Germany, Korea, Japan, Mandarin, and you can admit any foreign language except Bahasa Sunda or Bahasa Indonesia.
Yeah.
So you can apply to Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You can choose between being a diplomat or maybe just like me, just administrative stuff. And the ministry will place you to certain country.
Oh, so like, there's like a certain place that you have to go there.
Yeah, our government, Indonesian government, have 132 embassies outside the country, in Malaysia, in Singapore, in United States of America, in Brazil, in whatever, all countries around the world. And they will pick you and place you or assign you in some countries for several years.
What country have you been then?
For my work, I used to work at the Embassy of Indonesia in Cairo for 2 years, and then this is my second posting. This is my second embassy, Embassy of Indonesia in Washington DC.
Okay, so you've been to America and Cairo.
You mean for working?
Yeah, yes, for working.
Yeah.
Working.
Just to
How about beside working?
beside working, like just traveling. Or-
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, let me counting.
Oh, you've been so many places.
been to Muslim 14 or 15 countries.
Okay.
Can you count that? Like, what are the countries?
The first one was Cairo because I studied there, Egypt, and then Pakistan, my second country.
Okay.
I was doing symposium there. So when you go to university in Indonesia or outside, you can join a PPI, Persatuan Pelajar Indonesia.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, you have that. You can join there, and there's an annual symposium in certain countries, so you can join that symposium. So that's why you can travel during your study at a university. So I went to Pakistan when I was studying in Cairo, and then the third one was Oman,
Okay.
Turkey, Saudi Arabia.
That's a lot.
Which way? French,
Oh, right.
French, and then United States,
Oh my god.
Mexico, Colombia, Peru, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand.
And that's because you're in this organization of PPI.
No, when I was in PPI, I just visit Pakistan and Oman.
Oh, okay. So this is
So
just
the
you
rest
traveling.
just traveling.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
Yeah, that's really fun.
You've said about like ambassador of USA, right? Like, what are your ambassador USA experience?
The ambassador itself is some kind level of minister, setara dengan menteri. So the ambassador chosen by the president. So Prabowo choose. So I'm not the ambassador. I'm just a staff.
Oh, just a staff.
Just a staff. But ambassador or duta besar itu dipilih sama presiden, sama Jokowi or Prabowo.
Yes. Okay.
So I'm working for ambassador.
Oh, okay.
I'm not ambassador, but I'm working for ambassador. I
Still
help.
cool though.
Yeah.
I help him to to deliver what Indonesian interest to the global or to the America.
Oh,
For
okay.
example, you know Kopiko, right?
Oh yes, yes, yes.
Or Mil Kita. So that
candy.
produced in Indonesia, made in Indonesia, and the government working so hard to export these candies to United States, and that's what our office doing.
Oh.
So we do regulation, we do the negotiation with the United States, we do like trading deals and blah blah blah. So the Kopiko and Mil Kita can be in market of United States.
So mostly, you help people to export their products from Indonesia.
Not only the exporting, but because we work in very wide range of things. For example, in our office we have economic affairs where you working with the economy. For example, why $1 equal to 16.000 rupiah.
Yes.
So we have to work to push the value. So that's what people in economics doing. And also we have political affairs. For example, how Indonesian government learn about democracy to United States, and also, or maybe there are some DPR or MPR studi banding to United States
Yes.
about the regulation, about undang-undang, about whatever. So that's what people in politics doing. Also we have protocol and consular. So that's mostly working to help people. For example, Indonesian people in abroad want to marry a foreigner, so they need a paper, right?
Yes.
Like the buku nikah and whatever. So they're doing that. Or maybe in some countries like in the Gulf area, you know Gulf area, the Arab, like Dubai, Arab Saudi,
Oh yeah,
Qatar.
Dubai. I know Dubai.
There are so many TKW and TKI, right? So the consular and protocol working in that issue. and also handling human trafficking,
Oh.
like penyelundupan anak orang itu kan banyak kan
Okay,
kasus-kasus.
that's scary.
Yeah, the scary parts of the job. Or maybe, and also we have office like police office for international crime. And also we have a defense attaché. Defense attaché means pertahanan. So Kementerian Pertahanan means maybe you want to send some Indonesian army to conflict area like in
Oh, like
in
helping
Palestine,
other countries.
in Palestine, in Beirut, in Ukraine. There is some wars happening, right?
Oh yeah.
So our army, Indonesian army, is being sent to that area to help people. On also trade attaché, doing like Kopiko and export
yes.
import like that, and also education. So maybe like SMP Full Day one cooperate with some public school or private school in United States or outside. So the people in education office doing that kind of thing. So there's so many things.
Very, very
Between-
wide
yeah,
range of
very wide
working. So, like, do you think working with the ambassadors is like hard to do, or just like, is it one of your passion?
Interesting. So every job has interesting point and challenging point. For example, when I was a teacher here, the challenge was dealing with your parents
Oh yeah.
and dealing with the students. Because you have to keep your mood every day to teach, to talk, to explain things. And whenever I feel like a bad mood or sad, or I can bring that kind of thing to the class. Right?
Yes,
That's a challenge. But for now, working for the government, for the ambassador, the challenge may be more complex because we handle so many things. For example, what I'm doing daily is managing social media. So I have to manage like Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and also managing relation with American media and journalists. So for example, what happened last week in Indonesia, there was a big demonstration,
Yes, yes,
Really
yes.
popular, right?
and so many
Scary though.
they were scary. There were so many American journalists want to go to Indonesia to cover the story.
Oh yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm doing and my colleague at the office is giving them a regulation. If you want to go to Indonesia, you have our permits. You have to tell us what are you going to do in Indonesia. What kind of coverage will you doing? From which media you are. So yeah, this kind of thing.
Okay, you said before that you went to lots of country, right? Like, what are the different cultures you felt whenever you go to another country?
Learning different culture is really fun. For example, when your circle just Muslim only, for example, and then you have and you make a friend with, for example, with someone with different religion.
Yes.
Or different ethnicity. For example, you are from Sunda and you have friends from Japanese, or from Kalimantan, or from Chinese. It's fun, right?
Yes.
To understand each other, the culture.
learn new things.
Yes, the food and what else? The custom, the way you think.
Yes.
From one culture to another is completely different.
Yes. It's interesting, really.
Interesting. Or foods, for example.
Yes.
Like
the way you make nasi goreng in Sunda and in Java and in Chinese.
Yeah.
There's like a different way.
Different ways. So that's what happened when you learn so many culture in different country. For example, when I was in Peru, I don't speak Spanish, and they speak Spanish every day. So we have to deal how to communicate with different language completely.
That's
So
hard.
with the gesture, with the we learn what kind of gesture prohibited in certain country. So that's fun.
Yeah,
That's
it's
fun.
really fun to learn.
So like you said about like hard on communicating with other peoples outside this country, right? Like have you learned a new language while you're outside Indonesia?
Yes. So currently I'm learning Spanish. So when I was high school, SMA, I studied Japanese for 2 years, and I forgot. I forgot
You forgot?
because we never practice, right?
Yes, okay.
And then I studied Arabic, so I studied Arabic, and then I'm learning Spanish because in my office there are so many people from Latin America, and they speak Spanish. For example, all cleaning service at my office is from El Salvador, and they speak Spanish. So basically, you can meet them every day and practice your Spanish with them, right? That's fun.
Quite an opportunity.
And I studied French because I think you should learn another language besides English.
Yeah.
Because there are 5 or 6 official languages that used in United Nations or PBB. So when you master that one of them, English and one of them, you have a big opportunity to join them. Kalau ada rencana pengen kerja di international organization like United Nations, WHO, UNICEF, UNESCO, you have to master at least English and one of 5. Japanese,
like-
Mandarin, French, Germany, Arabic. What else?
Much more.
Yeah.
Much more. Do you think it's hard to learn a new language?
At the beginning, yes. But time to times you learn new language and you master another language is kind of more easier. For example, when I study Spanish, it's more easier because I found some vocabularies similar to Arabic and also similar to French.
Whoa, that's
Okay,
interesting.
wait,
Yeah,
can you say something in Spanish?
Yo hablo español.
With
Like
sound.
I speak Spanish. For example, in Spanish there's some vocabulary like camisa. Camisa means dress,
Oh, okay.
and camisa in Arabic is komis. Komis means dress,
Okay.
and if you heard in Indonesian language, gamis.
Gamis?
That makes sense.
Makes sense. So gamis, kamisa, komis, similar, right?
Yeah.
In pronunciations, in writing, and so that's more fun to know.
It's kind of easier to learn.
Yes. Or another one like mesa. In Spanish, mesa in meja.
Oh yeah.
So
Very
meja,
similar.
mesa is
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
Not
a
really
little bit
similar.
different.
Yeah.
Or another one, silla. The writing is Silla, silla, but you pronounce it sia. Sila means duduk, you know. You know sila? In Sunda it's sila.
Yeah.
Sila means duduk.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah, it's really fun and it's easy.
Okay. Do you have like an Islamic motivation for us?
Islamic motivation. I think Islam or our religion is a foundation. So wherever you go, wherever you meet people, wherever you talk with someone with opposite side. For example, when you talk to friend from Christianity, from Buddhism, Hindu, or even atheist, you need Islam as your foundation, right? So I think your age at school is the best time to learn religion because that's the foundation you will bring in your future. So I feel grateful when I was a student at SMP, SMA. I learned Islam, so well because I was in pesantren.
Yeah.
So right now when I meet people with different insight, different perspective, different religion,
Yeah.
different in anything, principle, values, Islam helped me to stand as who I am.
Okay. Yeah. How about can you give us like messages to our students here in SMPS to Full Day Al Muhajirin?
I think you need to dream as big as you can.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I start to dream since I was the 7th grade at SMP. So when I was 7th grade, I was thinking about Cairo every day. So I was set my side to when I will be in university, I will study in Cairo. And that's my prayer every day since I 7th grade.
So cool.
And also when I was in Cairo, I think, I'm in Cairo. I've been praying this
So many times.
so many times. And when I was in Cairo, it's that easy to dream Cairo, and I dream another one.
Yeah.
What is that?
I want to, for example, I want to travel the world. I want to travel to South America, to the North America, to the Asia, to the Europe, and I've been to some continents. I've been to Asia, I've been to Africa, I've been to Europe, America, just Australia and Antarctica maybe someday. Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, can we go back to the culture? I mean, like,
Okay.
what are your most culture shock in other countries? Like, there must be
Yeah,
one.
that's an important thing to ask.
When I was in Cairo, my culture shock was for male, it's forbidden to wear sarung outside the house.
Whoa.
So
Why is that?
kita di sini pakai sarung ke masjid kan?
Yes, exactly.
Ke masjid, di rumah, kemana-mana. Tapi di Kairo terlarang, nggak boleh laki-laki pakai sarung keluar karena itu tanda bahwa you just did how do I say it? Something with your wife.
Oh my
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see the
Okay,
vision.
we
That's
get
a
it,
sign, so that's aib.
Oh, yeah.
Kamu nggak boleh pakai sarung keluar karena itu aib.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really shocking thing.
Itu when I was in Cairo, and then when I was in Colombia, and mostly in Latin America like Colombia, in Salvador, Peru, you eat rice, everything with avocado.
Oh.
Is it
So
good?
we do avocado for juice, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
something
With
sweet.
milk,
Yeah, something
with
sweet.
sugar,
Desserts.
as this
With
dessert.
condensed milk.
But in Latin America, avocado is the main part of meal, with rice, with chicken, with bread, with meat.
So.
Do you find it tasty? Really?
Not familiar with
Not
that,
familiar,
but
because-
fun to try.
Because our tongue is Indonesian tongue.
Yeah.
And also, what else? The culture shock. I think if you visit Thailand, our neighbor, there's a similar culture shock in food. For example, you eat kalajengking,
Oh yeah.
you eat
Like really weird.
really bad
animals.
stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, I think the time has up for us for our podcast.
thank you so much.
We're so grateful for being our guest. It's really an honor for us for having you here with us. And I think that's all for our podcast. And see you for our next podcast in Full Day Cast.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you guys.